Well, there is a budget shortfall of close to $40 million at CCSD, and now there are questions if this will lead to cutbacks and layoffs. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Todd Quinones.
And I'm Trisha Keene. 13 Action News reporter Jeremy Chen is live to break down the budget for us. Jeremy.
Well, Todd, Tricia, a smaller budget, certainly not a surprise after Governor Sisolak asked state agencies to cut their spending in light of the fiscal challenges associated with our current pandemic. Now, as far as the changes we may see at the school level, that remains to be seen.
A smaller budget for the Clark County School District, the district releasing its budget blueprint for the upcoming fiscal school year. CCSD is projecting a revenue shortfall of $37.8 million because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This mostly comes from a $130 million drop in local sales tax revenue caused by the lack of tourists visiting and spending money. Kenneth Bretzel, the Director of Education Policy at the Gwynn Center, says the district was correct in anticipating the shortfall.
They did account for a lot of the different revenue shortfalls. So it does look like they accounted for what the governor was projecting for a shortfall for the FY 2021 school year.
However, the impact of the shortfall is offset with a rise in property tax revenue and the state's distributive school account, funded by the state's general fund, taxes on slot machines, and marijuana fees.
Just the state of Nevada in general has a seemingly over-reliance on the sales tax and seemingly under-reliance on property taxes.
Retzel says any layoffs and cuts at CCSD remain to be seen, but says relief from the Federal CARES Act could provide help.
Instead of having to cut some programs or some staff, they'll use it for that. Maybe they'll use it to re-up their curriculum or something, right? I guess time will tell.
Superintendent Jesus Jar addressed the budget at a virtual town hall Tuesday. He says he still hasn't heard from the state on how much spending will need to be cut. Governor Steve Sisolak told state agencies last month to prepare for cuts of 4 to 14% for the next 2 years.
We're looking at individual schools, and schools have done their strategic budget, and we're going through that process, but not as an entire district for next year. We don't have the budgetary numbers from the State Department at this time.
And CCSD hasn't said whether or not it has received relief funds from the CARES Act. Now, that budget blueprint will be presented at a special city school board meeting next week on Monday. And coming up at 6, we're going to hear from a teachers union about their thoughts about funding for the budget. Jeremy Chen, 13 Action News.